Top 10 Luxury Cars. Before we get started, subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our latest content. 1. BMW i7 and BMW 7 Series. If you need proof of how serious BMW is about staking its claim on luxury car glory, then consider the fact the i7 and its ICE-powered 7 Series sibling will only be available in leg-stretching long wheelbase guise. While the previous 6 generations of the brand's flagship saloons have placed as much emphasis on driver delight and pampering passengers, this all-new model is all about 5-star cosseting and cutting-edge tech. 2. Mercedes-Benz S-Class. BMW may have knocked it out of the park with the latest 7 Series, but the Mercedes-Benz S-Class is still the default option for good reason. It was last redesigned in 2020, embracing digitization more than ever before. In that respect, it has undoubtedly succeeded. The cabin feels reassuringly traditional yet avant-garde, and the scope of the vast displays manages to avoid the jarring omnipresence seen with other manufacturers' cars. Ambient lighting and connectivity are very well executed, and beneath it all, barring 1 or 2 ergonomic shortfalls, resides one of the most materially comfortable and cosseting places to sit, while the miles ease by for driver and passenger. 3. BMW X. Number 3 on this list is a double whammy of convention defiance. Not only is the BMW X not a saloon, but it also doesn't have a combustion engine. It came just over a year before the BMW i7. But it is effectively that car, a few inches higher up in the air. It's perhaps marginally less opulent, but having a hatchback, it's also a bit more practical. A BMW like no other is how our man Greg Cable described the X, the firm's new all-electric luxury SUV flagship model for its I brand. Some critics have used other words to make their feelings plain about the way this car looks and the departure from classic BMW design type that it and other recent BMW model debutants represent. Feel free to make up your own mind. This is a car clearly intended to provoke a reaction. 4. Range Rover. Under the skin, it's all new, featuring Land Rover's NLA Flex architecture, which has an 80% aluminum construction for lightness and strength. Torsional rigidity is up 50% over the old car. In combination with finely honed air suspension, 48V active anti-roll bars, and the availability of 4-wheel steering, this Range Rover handles with assured precision and surprising agility. It's also whisper quiet on the move and has a sumptuous ride that steamrollers awkward topography into submission. Some of the other cars on this list are even more refined though, especially on big wheels. A bit of thumping and the odd shimmy from the body can disturb the serenity slightly. 5. Mercedes-Benz EQS. Mercedes-Benz is taking a rather different approach to its flagship EV saloon from its BMW rival, where the BMW 7 Series and BMW i7 share a platform. The S-Class and the EQS are entirely different cars. The quiet running of an EV undoubtedly suits a luxury car, and the EQS is quite the engineering achievement. With a drag coefficient of 0.20, it uses the lack of air vents to good effect, and in combination with a massive 120 kWh battery, that helps it to achieve a real-world range of close to 400 miles in Mercedes EQS 450+ guise. 6. Audi A8 and Audi S8. The Audi A8 is one of the older cars on this list. The current generation was always a bit behind its peers for refinement, and although the A8's quality interior feels like it was built to outlast civilization itself, it lacks the sense of occasion of the latest BMW 7 Series or Range Rover. However, a facelift in 2022 has allowed Audi to throw a box of technology at its flagship limousine. While all A8s have adaptive air suspension, the sportier V8-powered SA features what Audi calls predictive active suspension, which mixes forward-facing cameras with a height-adjustable air suspension setup that incorporates fast-acting electromechanical actuators at each wheel. 7. Range Rover Sport. The last Range Rover wasn't a small car, but the new one is truly gargantuan on European roads. Four-wheel steering and straight sides make it manageable, but you might just want the Range Rover experience in a slightly smaller package. The Range Rover Sport shares much with its full-size sibling, not least its outstanding mechanical refinement and luxury appeal. Where the Sport distinguishes itself is its capacity to control its considerable mass, to sharpen the precision of its responses, and to distinguish itself as something of a driver's car. While it is still an undemanding vehicle to drive, it is also tactile and at least a little communicative. 8. BMW X7. Don't think of the X7 as an enlarged BMW X5, says the Munich-based firm, but rather a jacked-up BMW 7 Series that has been readied for limited off-roading work. That description doesn't much account for the fact that the X7 is a 7-seat, 2-box passenger car with an extended roofline, of course. But it does tell you about the priorities that BMW's designers and engineers had when it came to refining and tuning the car, which has now been facelifted to bring in line with its lower-slung 7 Series saloon sibling. The original X7 was no shrinking violet, but it's fair to say the latest car is even more imposing. Combining a similar twin horizontal headlight setup and vast grille with the car's existing barn door frontal area means this is a car you won't miss in your rearview mirror. 9. Audi Q8. A great many enthusiasts had taken against the modern luxury car buyer's preference for the SUV, but when you drive a car like the Audi Q8, it's easy to appreciate why they're so light. This designer take on the Audi Q7 has more visual presence and curbside, appeal in its stoutier, boxier relation, but the same brilliantly rich, solid feeling and inviting interior. It offers generous space for 4 adults conveyed at a height that makes you feel like you're lifted above the melee of traffic below, and there is enough versatility and capability to deal with whatever else your daily routine is likely to throw at you, with plenty left in reserve. 10. Mercedes EQS SUV. The EQS, number 5 on this list, may well sit on a completely different platform from the S-Class, number 2 on this list. But the EQS SUV, as you'd imagine from the slightly inelegant name, shares the same underpinnings. That's not such a bad thing. The steering feel is surprisingly defined and refinement, is an area it scores exceptionally well in. There is virtually no road noise. Passengers will just have to put up with the tiniest trace of wind noise, and even then, that's mostly at motorway speed. Passengers will be able to feel potholes, much in the same way that you can kind of feel the earth spinning on its axis if you really concentrate. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. Hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching.